Hello, you are listening to On the Topic. Well, this week I'm escaping from a genetic experiment and I'm killing some employees. I'm Dan.
Oh wow, that's a busy day. And I'm getting enigmatically chomped by a pterodactyl in fantastic fashion. I'm Alex. And this week...
Should we start again?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
What was your warm-up?
I'm breaking out of containment.
No. You know you did the warm-up, the vocal.
I'm pumped. Right, here we go.
Before you wake up my kids. Anyway.
They both home?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Henry was staying over someone's house.
The original plan was.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Oh. Sorry.
I'm pumped.
Hello, you are listening to On the Topic. This week, I'm breaking out of a genetic experiment and I'm killing some colleagues. My name's Dan.
It's a busy day for you. And I'm going to get enigmatically chomped by a pterodactyl. I'm Alex. And this week, we are doing the Jurassic World Rebirth review, Dan.
We are indeed.
Hot off the sidewalk, the pavements from last week where we were doing an on the go, which is a spoiler-free episode. So if you haven't listened to the on the go or seen or watched, because we're on all the social media, we've got those lovely Ray-Ban metas where you can see us walking to the cinema and on the way back.
About 3-minute clips. They're quite good actually. You get to see what our views and seagulls barking at us.
And what it's like for Gunwharf. If you don't live in this area, you can see exactly where it is. It's on YouTube. We'll give you all the contact details as per usual at the end of the episode. But if you haven't seen that, then now's the time okay to stop it, to pause it and go, actually, what did the guys say as they walked from the cinema doors? It's not a long episode, 20-ish minutes. Yeah. Split in two, so 10 minutes is us, what we're looking forward to for the film. And the other half, the 10 minutes, is us walking from the cinema doors. Again, spoiler-free, just our initial knee-jerk thoughts as we have walked from the cinema. Because you know what it's like, you sleep on it, you forget bits, or you think, oh, actually, what's that bit? I meant to talk about that. Not a problem, because we record it. In fact, we start so early, we're not even in the foyer, we're still in the corridors of the cinema, which I'm sure is legit, I'm sure it's fine. Don't sue us, view. But we're not doing anything we shouldn't do. So yeah, we're going to be talking about a spoiler-rific review. So it's been out for a couple of weeks now. So look, we will still give you the warning, but I suspect it's not needed.
No.
Should we go to Klaxon?
We'll put it in anyway, just in case.
Here it is.
You have been warned.
You have. So, Dan, our listener, if you're still here. This is a 2025, so, this month. American, and I mentioned this last time, I struggle with this description, but I don't know what is better fitting. A science fiction action film.
An American scientific action film.
Science fiction.
Science fiction.
Now, I guess it is, because you are talking about science, and it's non-fiction, it's fantasy. But I wonder whether there's a better genre for it, because it's now the second time, in 4 years I'm balking at this ridiculous description and genre. Like, I don't know, disaster monster movie? That's kind of the only thing that kind of comes to mind, because it kind of all goes to shit, really. As it
always does in a Jurassic Park film.
But in any monster movie, like, there's always jump scares, there's always people getting chomped. That's a disaster, and they are monsters. Don't know, I mean, even then someone would be happy with it, but I still struggle with science fiction American action film. But anyway, directed by Gareth Edwards. Now, Gareth Edwards did Godzilla, so we're in safe hands, allegedly.
You'd think.
Did Rogue One, and also The Creator on Netflix.
Ooh, okay.
So he knows what he's doing. He knows his way around a digital camera. Now, it takes place 3 years after the dumpster fire. Jurassic World Dominion. I misspoke. In 2022.
Did you, though?
No, of course
Come
not.
on, I mean, our review's out there.
Yeah.
And I said it in the previous episode, in the On The Go episode, that Dominion just forgets the entire franchise completely. It forgets about the the main protagonist, which is dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And they gave us fucking locusts.
Indeed, and politics. And it's a 4th Jurassic World film, as well as a 7th instalment overall in the Jurassic Park franchise. Stars, Dan?
Scarlett Johansson.
He does.
Mahershala Ali.
He's great.
Jonathan Bailey.
Not bad.
Rupert Friend.
Okay.
Manuel Garcia Rufo.
He's alright.
Ed Skrein.
Come again?
Ed Skrein.
Okay.
I mean, I can't remember who he was. He probably died. Oh dear.
Oh, right, yes, Ed Skrein is Bobby Atwater.
I think he carked.
A member of early doors, man. Like I think he's probably very early on the beach.
If anyone's actually shocked by it right now, me spoiling that, guess what? You've had the klaxon.
You have. I mean, a lot of them die. Come on, it's Jurassic Park.
Well, yeah. But that's all I've got for the starring. Unless you've got any more to add to.
Got a couple. We've got Luna Blaze.
Probably died.
No. So she's Ruben's eldest daughter.
Okay.
You had David Iachono.
Pardon you?
Mm-hmm. And Xavier Dobbs, Teresa's boyfriend. The loser boyfriend.
Oh, yes.
Rather forgettable, but I think he was there for comedic effect. You had Audrina Miranda as Isabella Delgado, Ruben's youngest daughter. And you had Philippine Velg as Nina, a member of Zora's team. I think Nina ended up carking it when she had her back to a dinosaur on the beach.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Well, you never turn your back
Chomped
to a dinosaur. Currently, the budget is rumoured to be $180 million.
Yep.
Which is a good wedge. Box office. Now, I took my notes 2 days ago, so it might change. I've got here 656.7.
Yours is higher than what I've got when I did my notes, which was 648. So it has gone up. So it's
Yeah.
still raking in money.
$656.7 million. So it's a fair amount.
Mm.
And that's not bad. I mean, it will never reach the lofty heights of the £1 billion mark or even 800. But for a film that, I don't know, the marketing wasn't rammed down our throats as far as I can recall.
There wasn't really a lot of trailers either. Because I think we talked about it in our most anticipated. So yeah, and we hadn't really had anything then.
No, there was a couple, like the first trailer they call it, which is like the teaser. And there were some scenes, I think it's predominantly where Scarlett Johansson is hanging off the side of the boat. It's very early production. It's probably all they were happy really to commit to YouTube effectively. But yeah, we never really saw much else. Obviously there's a full trailer, but that was pretty much before the film was released. And then they're off.
So we only seem to really get trailers these days at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The whole halftime action thing. Never really understood that, by the way, in terms of sports, because it doesn't happen at halftime at Fratton Park, I can tell you that much.
But maybe it should do.
Maybe it should. That'd be exciting, wouldn't it?
I think so. Perhaps if you're having a bad game, you're like, I just need to take my mind away from this for a second and watch a couple of trailers. But maybe not. Maybe keep it to the American side of things.
I mean, we do have American owners.
You do?
The Eisners, who you all recall once owned or ran Disney.
That's an accolade.
There you go.
Let's get into the plot.
Let's do it. So it all kicks off in 2008. InGen is operating a dinosaur research laboratory in Ile Saint-Hubert in the Atlantic Ocean.
Nicely done there.
The site is used for genetic experiments, including transgenic and mutated dinosaurs. Is it needed, though? We'll discuss that shortly. One of these creations, a deformed six-limbed tyrannosaur dubbed Distortus Rex, escapes containment. It kills an employee and wreaks havoc, forcing the personnel to abandon the island. This already sounds familiar.
It does.
In the present, most of Earth's climate has become inhospitable to sustain the de-extinct dinosaurs that previously spread around the world. So we're already undoing Dominion.
Can we put a mental pin in this part? because I will circle back to it.
Okay.
Please continue.
The remaining animals survive in areas around the equator. Makes sense. Nice, warm, humid, muggy weather.
A bit damp, yeah.
Which resemble the Mesozoic climate.
That do.
I did my best. Making them no travel zones.
It's effectively large swaths of the middle of the world is off limits. You can't fly there, you can't go there, you can't enjoy your summer holidays. It's a no-fly zone.
Doesn't stop some though, apparently.
No.
Martin Krebs, an executive at pharmaceutical company Parkergenics, recruits Zora Bennett, an ex-military covert operative, to collaborate with paleontologist Dr. Henry Loomis on a top-secret mission. Again, this already sounds quite familiar.
It does.
Their goal is to retrieve biomaterial samples from the 3 largest remaining prehistoric specimens, which hold the key to a new heart disease treatment. In a bar in Suriname, I think I've pronounced that right, Zora recruits her longtime friend Duncan Kincaid to lead the expedition. He brings boat driver Leclerc, mercenary Nina, and security chief Bobby Atwater. The expedition team sets out to Ile Saint Hubert to extract samples from the aquatic Mosasaurus, terrestrial Titanosaurus, and avian Quetzalcoatlus.
Nicely done. Well done.
I think I tried my best.
I think you did really well there, especially the last one.
Some tongue twisters. And I mentioned this on the On The Go episode. I found it quite fascinating that one is sea, one is land, and one is air.
It's nicely
This
done.
is computer game nonsense, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah, they are literally side quests. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ruben Delgado is sailing nearby with his daughters Isabella and Teresa before the latter leaves for college. Travelling with them is Teresa's boyfriend Xavier Dobbs, whom Ruben finds obnoxious.
I don't think it's only Ruben who finds him obnoxious. I think it's the rest of the audience for good reason.
Yeah.
And you know the way it's going with this character. There's 2 possible ways which this character is going to be resolved throughout the film. Either at some point very soon he's going to meet his untimely end, and it is teased a couple of times throughout the film, or you come around to liking him to some degree and you turn him around and he's misunderstood.
Yeah, I think at one point I turned to you in the early doors. I said, "Do you know what? I wouldn't mind if you got chomped."
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
as you do. The family are shipwrecked by the Mosasaurus and use a radio to call for help, with the expedition team coming to their rescue. How very nice of them.
It was. Although, much to was it Martin Krebs's disapproval, there's a mission. They were literally, to be fair, just they could see the island. Said, no, there's an SOS. We could turn around and save people. Would mercenaries actually do that?
I don't think they would.
And that's one of the least. I mean, look, we're talking about freaking dinosaurs on uninhabited islands that have previously taken over the world twice. I know we're talking about what's real and what isn't, but I'm just saying mercenaries aren't often known for their
kindness,
humanitarian efforts. Perhaps it is all about the money. But hey, who am I to question a mercenary? If you're a mercenary, listen to this, then let us know. Or not. I probably don't want to hear from a mercenary too. Maybe I don't want to invite that. Anyway, I should stop talking before I get myself a hit out on.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I mean, people already know where we are.
It would be hard to find us.
Not on Portsmouth Island, anyway.
No, it's not big enough.
The team soon encounters the Mosasaurus and extracts a sample from it, but the creature returns with a group of Spinosaurus and attacks the ship, killing Bobby.
Oh, poor Bobby. Which one's Bobby? Oh, yes, he's the Brit, tall, gung-ho American style.
Just a bit of a side character. Cannon fodder, I think you should describe him.
Yeah, I agree.
Teresa attempts to use the radio to call for help, but Martin panics and shoves her away to protect the mission's secrecy. Teresa falls overboard after Martin refuses to help her. I mean, he's already shown a bit of a villainous side.
Did he refuse to help her?
He didn't really do much, did he? He just sort of...
He just let nature take its course? I guess that is refusing. I don't know. I think you would be pretty pissed if you were Teresa and you go, come on, mate, you could have got up. But it wasn't like he pushed her.
No.
The bar had disappeared in the Spinosaurus' mouth, and she did fall as the ship kind of listed. So, I don't know.
He didn't do much to try and help her, but I think
she was very quick to blame him. But I guess, it must have felt like an eternity, perhaps, when you're in that situation. Literally looking down the jaws of death. So, fair enough.
We'll discuss his villainous sides
in a
bit later.
Yeah.
Xavier jumps overboard to rescue her, followed by Ruben and Isabella, separating from the expedition team.
Yes.
Typical Jurassic Park film, where you start to get...
You've got to have a side story.
Two plot threads.
You do. You have to have an innocent, non-military aspect to it that I guess the audience relates to, and then you've got to have a military aspect where people know what's going to happen. They're going to end up shooting bullets and dying, getting eaten, and you'll care less about them and you will more about the family. It falls into the usual Jurassic Park / world tropes. Don't think that's a bad thing, but you saw it a million miles away when the scene opens and they're on their boat, the sailing boat and stuff. You're like, okay, I know we're in the long haul with these guys. They're going to be here all the way through the film.
I think I prefer the survival element of the plot threads these days.
Yes.
It gives you someone or something to root for.
No, indeed.
And you sort of hope that they're going to make it through. But will they?
Or should they? That's another, perhaps more...
Another
question.
Discussion for in a moment. The Mosasaur forces the ship aground and Nina is killed on shore by a Spinosaurus. She's literally trying to haul something onto the beach. It's so glaringly obvious. How is she not seeing this motherfucker in her peripheral?
I know.
It gets up, goes into the sea.
It is clever though. Did you spot it as the camera kind of panned?
Yeah.
And it was just basking in the corner? Like, you just saw it sail. I'm like, okay, that looks dinosaur-esque, right? That looks like a part of an appendage. That's not rocks. And then you see over her shoulder, her back's to it, and it just gets up and slips very quietly, majestically even, some might say, into the water. And you're like, okay, he's not being scared off. He's going to get some dinner now. You know, Wes. And I'll talk about it in a couple of minutes, but I quite liked that. Yeah. I quite enjoyed it.
I mean, they don't really hide behind it either. Like, the fact she gets chomped up and the wave sort of washes away this blood. I mean, there's a lot of it.
There is.
It's very sort of Jaws-esque.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. There's got to be some mess. It's just gritty that they're all walking through it.
Yeah.
The bloody water. But hey, that's part and parcel of the film, right?
Zora informs the survivors that she employed a rescue helicopter to circle the island in 24 hours. So they've got 24 hours to complete this mission.
The clock is ticking.
The team locates the Titanosaurus herd in a field and easily extracts the second sample. I mean, they're very peaceful creatures.
They are. I didn't like, though, their kind of wispy tail. I thought it was a bit too alien-like. Not for me. I like the concept, but the tail I don't think needed. No. Personally, I just thought it was a bit odd how it weaved in and out and waved around, and yeah, it's not for me. I thought everything else about it looked a bit ugly in the face, but again, it's a mutant, fine. But the tail I thought was just silly.
It sort of has a bit of a beautiful moment. It sort of harkens back to the original Jurassic Park, where they get out of the car and they see the Brachiosaurus. Yeah. But again, do we need genetic dinosaurs?
I mean, you do if your franchise is on its arse.
Well, yeah, exactly. But did we not learn from the Indoraptors? Was it the Indo? Something like that?
Yeah.
Didn't need it. Just give us bigger T-Rexes and, just
give us T-Rex, which we did. It's enough.
Now, because the Quetzalcoatlus is a large and carnivorous animal, the team hopes to avoid issues by getting their final sample from an egg instead.
Yeah, we all know nice how that's going to happen.
Yeah. So you think. Zora, Henry and Leclerc rappel to reach the nest located in an ancient temple on the side of a cliff.
I really quite enjoyed this scene.
Again, has a bit of harkens to Indiana Jones. A little bit.
It does a bit. You're right. Yeah.
Apparently the guy is a bit of a fan.
I can see that.
It makes sense. He's a Spielberg fan. I mean, as all of us should be.
Who isn't?
And now, where did we get to? A parent Quetzalcoatl returns to the nest and devours Leclerc. Poor bastard.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's a great moment.
I think even turned to you, I was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's
just like gulping him back like a seagull does with.
Well, it's like
bit of fish.
Yeah. Well, it's like a seagull, or what's the birds with the big neck, the gullets.
Oh, I know what you mean. They're in Nemo, aren't they?
They are. And yeah, effectively, like he's just being very unapologetically swallowed, gulped, and any other kind of verb, like all the way down. You can see legs and his arms flailing, and he's not going down, so he's flinging. Oh, it's so good.
It's quite a different depth to what we've seen in previous Jurassic Park films as well. You know, we've
usually they're chomped or they're cut in half. No, this is full blown body swallow.
Because you had Rexy chomping the blood-sucking lawyer off the toilet.
Albatross.
Was it? An
albatross.
Maybe. And then The Lost World, you had the poor fella in the Jeep who gets torn in half by 2 T-Rexes.
Yes. That's not enough.
We had the little... I can't remember what they were called now. He's going for a pee anyway, and he falls down. Those little things are chewing.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Horrible little bastards.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've not really had a death like that, and
it was different. I liked
it.
In a sick kind of way, but yeah.
Yeah. Nazora and Henry managed to escape with the sample.
That's right then.
Phew.
Yeah.
Relief. Poor Leclerc, though. He's dead.
Yeah.
Elsewhere on the island, Reuben commends Xavier for rescuing Teresa in the water. This was one of those moments where I felt like it was foreshadowing Xavier to die. Oh no, not Xavier. Reuben, sorry, the dad. Because I almost sort of felt like it was like a passing of the baton. Well, you saved my daughter. You know, it's now on you to look after her.
You're worthy of looking after her, and I'm not. Yeah, I agree.
I genuinely thought that was going to happen, but alas, we'll get there in a moment.
Not yet.
Xavier survives being attacked by a velociraptor, which is subsequently preyed upon by a mutadon, a mutated raptor pterosaur hybrid.
That was a cool scene.
That was so good. The horror, because he doesn't really want to turn around, but he knows what's happening. He's like, I mean, that's going to make you stop in mid-flow.
I love this film for different reasons, though, which I'll pick up in my favourite bits in a minute. But I think it's a bit of light relief. And I think that character is light relief in the main of this film. But that was an enjoyable scene because it feels like a living, breathing, natural world. I don't know about you, but whenever you go to a Jurassic Park island, it always kind of feels kind of empty. There's lots of jungles, and then there's a clearing, and you know there's going to be velociraptors hiding in the long grass, or you know you're going to go by the water's edge, and there's going to be usually a 3-horned grazer. There's usually a blueprint, so it was actually quite nice to see an island that was teeming with life.
It had, it sort of set the tone very early on. You could almost feel the threat around every corner.
Yes, and I don't think, unless it's hallmarked by roar in the not too distant, far reaches of the jungle, you don't really get that. It's just the threat is the jungle, which in itself is correct, but you do expect an island to be left to its own device for 30 years to be teeming with life, and there is a little bit of it.
Yeah,
which is really, really good.
The family searches for the InGen complex and encounters various dinosaurs, including an Aqualops, whom Isabella adopts and names Dolores. They knew what they were doing here, bringing the cute element.
Marketing?
Yeah,
100%.
I wouldn't be surprised to see pop figures of Dolores coming out soon.
Or plushies.
It could already be out.
Probably is.
Yeah.
Would you get one?
It's not for me, but maybe a T-Rex for sure.
Oh yeah,
I want teeth.
Oh yeah.
They find a raft, and after surviving a Tyrannosaurus Rex attack, proceed downriver. Love this sequence.
I do, but there's bits I struggle with, and I'll talk about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Again, it's.
I mean, they don't just find a raft. They make a bloody song and dance of it, and it's noisy AF. Which is another issue I take umbrage with this film, but it is. I don't think you could. We both talked about it before. Well, now this is the fourth time I think we're talking about it. You can't, or fifth, or whatever it is. We talked about Jurassic Park films quite a lot. In fact, I've got to create a whole new playlist on YouTube because of it now. You can't get away from having T-Rex in this film.
Nope.
And I liked that it wasn't just paying lip service. It wasn't just a roar at the end as the credits roll. It wasn't just a fleeting moment when it comes out and bites someone in half and, you know, it cuts to the next scene. We spend a good amount of time with this dinosaur. And I don't think we have meaningfully since either Jurassic Park 3 or even 2.
We didn't really get a Rexy in number 3, I don't think. It was a completely different dinosaur that had the mobile phone in its stomach.
Or was it?
I think it was, yeah.
Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Whatever it was.
Amazing.
Yeah. Almost like you're there. Yeah, you're right. It was the mobile phone that was in his stomach. And then he poops it out and it's in the poo.
Yeah. But you know, you're right. There hasn't really been anything like... maybe The Lost World was probably the last time we had a proper T-Rex.
I mean, the whole film's around that dinosaur, to be fair. But yeah, I don't think we have had... I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe audiences don't find that dinosaur the big bad anymore.
Shocking.
And I really do wonder if that's the case, but I don't think that.
No.
Again, I'm edging on the debate, but I don't need a made up dinosaur. Give me more T-Rex, because T-Rex is intelligent, it's fast, it's meaty, it's massive, it's all those things and more. What else could you possibly want from a dinosaur?
No, exactly.
Doesn't need to camouflage. It doesn't need to be able to sprout wings. It doesn't need to have 2 extra sets of hands. Just give me a T-Rex. So yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed this. It was a good scene, in the most part.
In the most
part.
At the complex, the family reunites with the expedition group. When Teresa recognises Martin, he holds the others at gunpoint.
Oh.
Steals the samples from Zora and flees to the helipad alone by UTV. We
knew how it was going to end, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
He was never going to really escape.
Never in doubt.
Especially when he put his handcuffs on that briefcase. Yeah, that hand is coming off.
A pack of mutadons descend on the survivors who escape through underground tunnels. Again, another sequence I quite enjoyed, which sort of throws back to the original. They're in a shop this time.
Yes.
And one of the mutadons comes in through the ceiling.
Yep.
And I think it's the little girl. She gets in the fridge and hides, and she holds up her coat so it can only see the.
That was really clever.
That's quick thinking.
Yeah, because you see it from the girl's perspective inside the fridge, don't you? So it looks into the cabinet, and it's like, why is it not attacking? You can surely see her. And then the camera then flicks around to the viewpoint of this dinosaur, and yeah, she has clearly covered off view, and it can't see. It's clever.
It had the classic Jurassic Park horror moment, I think.
Yeah, the whole kitchen scene,
suspenseful.
You know, with the whole click clack of his talons.
It's like the raptor talons, isn't it?
Yeah, but also then the whole kind of, you know, when I can't remember the girl from the first film, and she's trying to hold the door handle to stop the raptors from opening the door, which again is one of the most iconic and famous scenes of all cinematic history since 1992, and she's like underneath the kind of the porthole window, and she's like, and he goes, and it's just his nostrils are flaring and it's steaming out the window. We kind of got that with the little girl. I'm sure that sounded gross on recording, but Dan clearly found it
committed to the internet now.
You have to. Dan found it clearly entertaining in person, or he was horrified equally. But it was. You're right. It had the hallmarks. Would you call them Easter eggs? I don't know, but I liked it. I thought it was done in a tasteful way.
Yeah.
It wasn't rehashed. It wasn't redone. We don't need it. But it wasn't wasn't so obvious that it was a repeat. It kind of did it in its own way.
Yeah.
So I thought it was good.
The rescue helicopter arrives, but it is destroyed by the Distortus Rex.
Of course it is.
Which then devours Martin. There was no escaping it.
No, sorry, Martin.
The survivors reach a locked gate at the end of the tunnel and see a boat on the other side. Isabella, small enough to fit through the gate, unlocks it, allowing the group to load onto the boat while Duncan diverts the D-Rex using a flare. Again, nice little throwback to the original.
It was, with the T-Rex.
Zora, Henry Rubin, Teresa, Xavier and Isabella escape. Duncan escapes the retreating D-Rex and joins them.
I don't think he should have done.
Bit Disney-fied, this one.
Yeah.
I feel like his life should have come at a cost.
Yeah, it was a very high price to pay and no one paid it.
Unless they're going to put him into a sequel.
That's why.
It's Mahershala Ali, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no other reason.
With the samples in hand, Zora and Henry agree to distribute the new medication without a patent, making it open source for the entire planet. How very nice.
Yeah. Yay for humanity.
I mean, again, mercenaries. Not really well known for showing their kind-hearted gestures.
Well, they've got very big hearts.
Scarlett Johansson's now suddenly become a hero.
Humanitarian.
A humanitarian.
Which, is quite the U-turn. And I don't know, I don't want to get too much into the whole kind of development arc of this particular character and how she's written. Could it be believable? Don't know. She's in two minds. She's just come off a failed job where she lost her best friend.
Just lost another one.
So is she likely to say, screw it, I've been all through this, I'm going to pass on $10 million and instead save the world?
Life-changing money.
But hey, she does. Don't know. I mean, fine. As long as we have that fleshed out in subsequent films, I'm okay with it. But if this is standalone, I think that's quite a U-turn. But yay for humanity.
Heart disease is cured.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff.
Should we go on to our likes and dislikes?
Let's do it. Favourite bits? There's a honking in the background if you can hear that, listener. That's some seafaring vessel.
Yeah.
Probably the White Link.
Bit of ASMR tonight, which is nice. Got the conservatory doors open. It's a warm, beautiful evening. It's
you can hear our own pterodactyls squawking in the background.
Seagulls, no doubt. Sun setting. I can just about see the Lipstick Tower over at Gunwharf from here.
Shh, mercenaries are listening. They're about to zero in on where we live.
They're coming for us.
You have hearts, we know you do. Favourite bits. I mentioned about putting a pin in it. I think it was a good save post-Dominion, the storyline.
Yeah.
Dominion was a fucking car crash, and it shouldn't have happened, but they threw the whole kitchen sink in there, hoping for a big payday and to say a big farewell to Bryce Dallas Howard, the original cast, and Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them for it. Kevin Trevorrow thought he was printing money, and he was wrong, he wasn't. And I think the franchise suffered the result. I really liked Jurassic World. Actually, I thought that was clever. The second one, not so much. Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
Third one, not at all, because it veered so far from the original spirit and the nature of what a Jurassic Park / World film is, in my opinion. And we talked about that multiple different reasons and multiple of different times. So the fact.
Sorry, I was going to say, what was the short that they brought out? Because we did a review.
Oh, that was really good though.
We did a review of it back in the Weekly Roundup days.
Something Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was sort of expecting more of that.
That was really good. But again, that was the jump scares. That was the horror elements. They're all things go quiet in the woods late at night with the fire, and they quickly hide in the trailer, and then out comes this dinosaur chomping away, and it's smelling prey, and it's all the things that we just described from the shop scene in that film in Rebirth, all the way back to the kitchen scene in the first Jurassic Park, is that, and that was a great 10-12 minutes. We really enjoyed that.
We've got a couple of weeks off in August while you're on holiday. Maybe we'll drop that as a Vault episode.
Yeah, it's a good shout actually, because actually people go and watch that on YouTube now.
Yeah.
And that, for those who don't know, it is shot by Trevorrow, but he does it between Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. It's fully scripted short. It's fully filmed, so it's not like done by a random film enthusiast. It's a proper film, and it's proper CGI'd, and it's supposed to explain between Fallen Kingdom what happens when dinosaurs have taken over the world, because obviously there's a big gap in time, isn't there, between those two films?
Yeah.
And they're everywhere. They're bloody everywhere. So yeah, good shout actually. Maybe we should do that. But going back to this, they kind of had to very quickly undo all of the hurt and the pain of Dominion, and so they basically said, yeah, well, dinosaurs can't live in colder climates, so they died. Fair. Because actually, the genie got out of the bottle, but the genie can't live outside. It's got to go back into where it's come from. So I think that was kind of clever. They didn't U-turn so quickly. So again, when they're in New York and you've got the Brachiosaurus, is it? Or there is a long-necked dinosaur that's clearly having a bad time, and he's escaped again for the umpteenth time, and traffic has come to a standstill, and they're trying to recover it. And it's like, well, these are one of the few breakouts, because now they're in zoos again because they can't survive, and that's the only place they can on the equator. I like that because that kind of makes sense. I like that because you can kind of just ignore the previous 3 hours of Gumph, which is Dominion. Yeah. So I think it was a good save. I thought it was clever. I think it gets things right back on track. And how do you get back to an island with dinosaurs, which has been done so many times? But that's how you do it. You have to go back to an island because they're no longer just down the road, or they're no longer in the woods, 5 miles away. You have to go to somewhere that is out of limits, and then you get back into the realms of Jurassic Park 3, with people veering too close and their pleasure craft end up getting chomped. Yeah. It's all those things that we know and love, not the two films we saw before. So I really like that. Solid performances in the main, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
I think the cast, where it needed to, did what they needed to. In the main, I think there were some most memorable, notable deaths. So the sea scenes with the Mosasaurus and the Spinosaurus, I think I actually found myself unknowingly clenching my butt cheeks. Too much information, but my butt cheeks were clenching when at the beginning of the film, and the Spinosauruses are following this family, and the Mosasaurus is chasing the dad back onto the capsized boat. Yeah, because that's what we all know by now, if you listen to us enough, that I have a fear of the sea, and a reasonable one. And especially when you've got bloody big dinosaurs on there, they're not supposed to be there. So that kind of was like the Meg for me. It was like Jaws with the Mosasaurus, which is even worse. And I loved it. I thought that was really clever. And we don't really see too much happening at sea before. We see bits where they're travelling to and from, or helicopters get chumped by big old jumping dinosaurs, but this is proper, like, they're being preyed on. Yeah. And that's a really, refreshing take on the genre. We talked about the skipper who ends up being swallowed by a pterodactyl. Yeah. Glug, 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 glug. It's so good. So clever. We hadn't seen it before, which is phenomenal. And then the T-Rex river scene. I mean, I literally gritted my teeth for about the 7-minute ordeal.
I got that in my likes. They've sort of had Jurassic Park of old all over it.
It's all the good bits, I think. All the sprinklings of that magic. And I think there was a good amount of jump scares as well. The film brought back the dinosaurs in their droves. I mentioned it earlier on, but I've got here where the lad is relieving himself. Yeah, he's having a waz. And a pterodactyl gets taken by the raptor. But we never get the sense that these islands are full of life and danger and threat unless there's an audible audio cue. So the fact that he's there taking a leak, you think, oh, he's gonna cark it.
Yeah.
Dan's gonna get his wish. I know he doesn't, but the threat is real. Like, you should not go wandering off on your own. You know, it is the jungle, and there are dinosaurs out there. And I really loved that about this film. You go, okay, that's 30 years of dinosaurs making their own way and making it their own. Not there's just a couple rattling around in the old vicinity. But how about you, Dan? Those are bits I liked.
As you mentioned, dinghy scene. Again, felt like Jurassic Park of old. We've already talked about this, the mutated in the shop, where it sort of felt like a throwback to the kitchen
very
scene.
Clever.
I don't think we need to cover that again, but I just thought it was a phenomenal action sequence.
Yeah.
Overall, film remembers what the franchise is about.
It does.
Dinosaurs. Actually, I just remembered when I was talking about the little dinosaurs in the Lost World, they're called compies.
They are compies, yeah.
Again, you talked about the boyfriend going and having a pee. It was sort of a throwback to that Lost World moment, but it felt like there was more danger, bigger, better.
Yes, more palpable.
And I genuinely thought he might die here.
He might,
and they're going to wonder where he's gone. But I mean, he got off lightly. He was very lucky.
Didn't move an inch.
No,
that's what saved him.
But yeah, I think overall it just felt like a Jurassic Park film again.
It has, but is that enough? And I'll ask you a full-on question in a second. The not-so-favourite bits.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think it should have been a standalone monster disaster movie in its own right.
Yeah, you said that on the On The Go episode.
I think it could have held its own, but it let itself down by the weight of what came before. It didn't need to actually be a dinosaur film, or there have been other dinosaur films. You know, look at was it 65? And it's a science fiction back in time dinosaur roaming the earth, but
isn't it about a bloke and a kid?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember watching it. I thought it was really good. Very well done.
Like, you can do a dinosaur film but not need to be a Jurassic Park or Jurassic franchise. I wonder whether they should have done that. I mean, yeah, they probably got sued out of the park because it's on an island and there's dinosaurs and it's basically Jurassic Park 3. But I think because they made it a Jurassic Park film, it has a lot already to live up to before you've even got into the first 5 minutes. And that's, I think, the problem that we are now facing 35 years on, 36 years or whatever it is. That's a real issue for it. Rupert Friend, I think, was a good baddie, but I don't think he was bad enough. Yeah,
I've put that on my notes. He just feels a bit like a greedy businessman.
And all corporate baddies look and smell the same. They got their suits. They dress poorly for clearly what is a dangerous situation, and they are quite selfish and unapologetically money first. But is that dangerous enough?
No. But even the fact that he was wielding a gun.
Oh, you never really thought anyone was at risk, did you?
He wasn't going to do anything, was he?
No.
He just. No, there was something missing about him. Even in like Jurassic World, we had who's the guy that plays the Kingpin?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah,
D'Onofrio.
He felt like
it's him, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
He felt quite mischievous, and he wanted these dinosaurs for warfare.
Yes,
and he had an agenda, whereas he didn't feel like he really had one.
No. Just aside from the money, and you could say, well, that's enough because that's again the raw, familiar, sadly, aspect of the human psyche that might win out. It's you're in the thoughts of, could I save that person? But then this is worth £1 billion to me. I don't know. I don't think it's enough just to say that he's a human being and that's worthy enough of being a baddie. He just wasn't dangerous. I think I struggle with that. There are some continuity issues, Dan.
Go on.
Now, to introduce a weak link in what is already a weak party of the family and civilians, so we talk about the need to have that subplot, and I agree, and I liked it for what it was. The father, Ruben Delgado, played by Manuel Garcia Rulfo, he hurts his leg relatively early on. He's hobbling along, right? In the Rexy scene, he's literally kicking his legs underwater when he's going down the rapids, and he's narrowly avoiding getting chomped. You would not be able to kick your legs if you're in that condition, because you've been hobbling for the last 30 minutes beforehand, and now you're kicking your legs like it's, well, I don't know, choreographed swim teams, but you look like a choreographed swim team under the water. There's no way you could do that. You'd have a limp leg and the other one's kicking like mad. So I don't know, that I struggled with that, because I watched it, was going, well, why is he doing that? You know, literally, he's being dragged across the island. Now, why is he able to swim underwater? It makes no sense.
Hydrotherapy, Alex.
Yeah, maybe. What is it? Hydrotherapy, or it's the resistance. Lack of resistance. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I didn't buy it. I'm not buying it.
I tried, guys.
Yeah.
I tried.
Now, the characters are all aware by now how this works around dinosaurs. All are sensitive to sound. Some are useless with vision. Why do they insist on banging, crashing, operating heavy machinery when trying to evade a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Some of these characters literally grew up with dinosaurs among them post-Dominion. So the kids in this film, they would have grew up with dinosaurs living down the road and, you know, being in America and flying across and being in the water. So they know how this works. This isn't a thing that they learn in school. This isn't a thing that has been taught to them in the classrooms. They've literally been living around these things. But yet we see them time and time again banging, crashing, climbing on top of metal crates. They are falling off things and banging things with, you know, metal clank. Like, you're going to attract a dinosaur. Now, I know it's all part of the film. Yes, Alex, yes, I know. I know it's, you know, it's... How else would you introduce that horror element if it's all sneaky, the dinosaur never attack? I get that. But also, they make no care to keep quiet. Case in point, you know, like Teresa's scene where she's rooting around that old InGen boat.
Yeah. Bang,
crash. Like, you fucking for real? Just because you know the dinosaur's out of sight but it's sleeping doesn't mean to say you're safe. Like, and she's moving big crates and they're falling off. And I'm like, I know for the audience you're thinking, oh, is Rexy awake now because of that? But she should know that. She should also give a shit too. And she doesn't. We do, because we're like, oh yeah, that's clearly going to wake up Rexy. She don't give a shit. And I wonder why, though.
No, you're right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, surely it should be shared between the audience and the character. Go, oh crap, I made a big noise. You know, is that going to wake up something? You're looking around. Then play peekaboo with a dinosaur, not make a crash and go, oh well. And the audience go, well, hang on a minute, like, should I have cared about that sound?
Yeah.
Apparently I shouldn't have cared about that sound. Apparently I'm overthinking it. And that's the way, I guess, I was watching it going, am I being, like, gaslighted here? Because I'm on high alert. I'm watching and listening out for these things. You're not. But you're in mortal peril. Like, why do you not give a fuck? I don't understand it.
It's really odd, because in that build-up, she precariously swims across. She's doing it so quietly.
Tip, tap.
And then as soon as she gets into that pod to get the dinghy...
Bang, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 crash, crash.
It's like she's on drums. She does not give a crap. She's playing a half-time show on those drums. And, like, I don't understand it. Because I don't understand what happens with direction there. And this is... I'm going hard on a scene, but I think it's illustrative of the overall part of the film, which is you don't turn your back to a dinosaur when you're on the beach. You don't dangle limbs off the side. You don't do this. You don't do that. There's all the things that you know you don't do at this stage, but yet they do them, and they seemingly not care or know. And then it makes the audience go, hang on a minute, like, should I care about this? I know the rules. I know the rules when you go with dinosaurs, but do the rules not apply now? Oh wait, and do fucking apply, because when you inflate an inflatable boat and it makes a sound, that now wakes up the dinosaur.
Yeah.
But not the crash 50 yards away where you dropped a toolbox. Like, I don't know. But I'm finding that a bit challenging. And the ending, I think.
Yeah, it felt a bit rushed. Stakes didn't really feel high enough, especially when Duncan didn't really die.
No. So he runs off with a flare, and you can see the flare from a distance, slowly fading. You think, okay, well, the dinosaur's clearly busy.
He's gone. He's brown bread.
You know, and
his tortoise has had his meal.
But look, I'm okay with that because he selflessly saved himself, distracted the dinosaur away from the family and his friends and his loved colleagues. So they're on the boat and suddenly, oh no, come around, there's another... Where'd he get that flare from? There's another fucking flare. He's in the water. Oh, let's go pick up my mate.
I'm trying to think, where did he pick that up from? Because I only remember him grabbing one.
Probably in his pocket or some shit. But
yeah.
I guess I have less issue now at this point with the flare than I do in the fact he's alive. But I think the stakes were so high, he should have died.
Yeah.
He should have died for something. And the only reason I could think of, Dan, I think we even talked about this either off air or in the last episode, was because he's probably coming back to leave the door open. And, at the time of recording the 700 million, they're probably going to make another one. And it's probably going to be with Scarlett Johansson. She didn't do a bad job. And it's going to have Mahershala Ali, but come on, he's got to die in his next film. But the reason why he didn't, I think, was because of that. I do not have an issue with them sending off into the sunrise. Don't get me wrong. I don't have that issue. I don't have that problem. They did it in Jurassic Park 1.
Yeah.
It works here too. And, there are other poetic synergies. I just have an issue with the audience being played with again. It's like gaslighting. You know what's going to happen, guys. But, we did this for you. He's got a flare. You know how this works. But it's okay because that now tells your audience what's going to happen to everyone else.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. Literally, within 10 seconds, they turn the corner, he's swimming out of a swamp. Like, there was zero effort to even make us think for maybe half the film that he was dead. It was literally 10 seconds. It felt cheap. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It felt cheap. I didn't have an issue with after that. They're all snuggling together, nice and cosy, looking off into the sunrise. Fine, whatever. And there's some squawk in the background, listener. But it felt cheap. How do we get this big, fucking, ugly dinosaur away from the group? I know what, we use a flare because they did it in Jurassic Park 1, they did it in Jurassic Park 3, they did it in Fallen Kingdom, did it in Lost World. Let's do it again. But this time, they trick their audience because this guy doesn't need to car kick because he's worth a lot of money. Let's bring him back for next film. And that feels like what happened. And I don't like the fact that I feel cheated. I don't like being gaslighted. I don't like feeling cheated. And I think I got both in double barrels.
Talking to the Tortoise Rex, didn't like it.
No.
The appearance, or they don't really see it in full, per se.
I was thinking that towards the end of the film. Like, he's always in the shadow. He's always hiding bits of his face. I think it's just too much.
Feels a bit like Galactus in the original Fantastic Four films.
There's a suggestion.
You kind of see it, but it's not enough.
There's a suggestion, but if you blink, there's no way you can see in the outline.
But when you do see its face, it looks a bit like Alien.
Yeah.
It's
which is done better. It's done better in that franchise. It's a snubby, ugly dinosaur, which it's the whole point. It's a mutant, but I don't know. It doesn't scream at me as it's dangerous.
Yeah.
No doubt it's in my face. I would feel it's dangerous, but if you look at any of the other dinosaurs, Spinosaurus, the T-Rex, the Pterodactyl, they've all got rows of teeth. They all got hallmarks of danger. That one didn't at all.
No.
Not 1 ounce. Didn't like it, I agree.
Let's go to the critical response.
Yes.
Let's kick things off with our favourite, Rotten Tomatoes. 52% of 351 critics' reviews are positive. Now, the website's consensus reads, going back to basics with rip-roaring set pieces and fossilised cliches. Jurassic World Rebirth doesn't evolve this prehistoric franchise, but it does restore some of its most reliable DNA. You've just said that.
Yeah. Can I expand on that? I agree. And I wonder whether we liked it because of that, but do we also like it because of what it isn't, which is Dominion?
Yeah.
So if you take out Dominion and Fallen Kingdom, what you get now is Jurassic World 1 and everything else before it, if you count that. Is this a good enough film? I was going to ask it at the end, but I think it's a pertinent point because I think that critic consensus, for once, I actually really agree with. But do you think this is a good enough film if you forget the last two?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, if you're going to ask me to rank my films, original trilogy come at the top.
Yeah.
So in that order, this comes in the middle, then it's the Jurassic World films.
Oh. Okay.
I know it's quite bold. I could change my mind.
You're entitled to in time, but right now,
always happens. But right now, it comes in the middle.
That's interesting.
of the pack.
Yeah. Okay, I can see where you're going with it. I'm of a different ilk. I don't like the second film. Don't think it was needed. I know it's the book, but I don't. But anyway, we all know that my opinions is a bit contrarian. I'd probably say Jurassic Park 1. It's 3. It's Jurassic World. It's Jurassic Park, the second one. Then it's whatever you want. Probably this film, and then it's whatever you want after that. I think this was an okay Jurassic Park film, a Jurassic World film. I don't think it was great, but I think I enjoyed it slightly more because of what's come before more recently. And is that the right perspective? Possibly, because actually we've got a breath of fresh air. It shouldn't have been. It should have been more of the same. And in the last, 5-6 years, we've had garbage. So the fact that this is back on its trend of jump scares and slight horror, blood, guts, and imminent threat, brilliant.
Yeah.
They've got the special sauce, and they're throwing it down our throats, and I'm loving it. But yeah, okay, that's fine. So that's what the critics' consensus say. What does the audience say? We got that?
I've got a couple of other critics.
Oh, yeah, sorry, go on. Yeah.
We've got Peter de Bruges of Variety felt that Rebirth offers an updated version of the same basic ride Spielberg offered 32 years earlier, and yet it hardly feels essential to the series' overall mythology, nor does it signal where the franchise could be headed.
Yes. But I think that's on purpose, though. Because where do you go after this?
We said it in the ongoing episode. What could you possibly do that's different to the previous films?
Well, they did it. They did it by going back to another bloody island. But you can understand how and why now, because they've been forced to, because all the dinosaurs have been forced to the equator. But we ask again, where do you go after this?
And it wasn't about politics or
locusts.
Warfare or locusts. It was about medicine, which was slightly different to what we're used to.
Yeah.
It was cool. But again, I don't know what you could offer with a Rebirth number 2. I'm not sure.
No.
And then finally, I've got David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter. He wrote, Edwards clearly is a devoted Spielberg fan, embedding subtle homages throughout, notably in the open water sequence that recall Jaws.
100%.
Jurassic World Rebirth is unlikely to top anyone's ranked franchise list. We've just gone through ours, and sort of middle of the boat. But long-time fans should have a blast.
Yeah, fine. I agree. Yeah.
We'll get on to Phil in a minute in the listeners section. But he actually said it's very middle of the road. He described it as Marmite.
Yeah.
You'll either love it or you'll hate it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But I'm alright with it.
I'm okay with that too.
I'm probably sort of leaning more towards loving it. But our friend Dale, unfortunately, hated it. Okay, some Easter eggs.
Yes.
I'll only mention the more notable ones. The side mirror, Alex.
Yes, things that appear larger as they get closer.
Yeah, closer than they appear.
That's the one.
Now, Rupert Friend's pharmaceutical representative Martin Krebs, as he's driving in New York City,
Yeah.
at one
Opening
point
scene.
he looks into the rear view mirror and sees the words, "Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear."
I did spot that
on the
bad boy.
glass.
Of course, from JP1 with the T-Rex.
You've got eagle eyes, man, because I missed that one.
Yeah.
An iconic shot from Jurassic Park saw Robert Muldoon, Ellie Sattler and Ian Malcolm trying to escape the T-Rex with the same words appearing
Absolute classic.
on their rear view mirror.
But I
as it
wondered-
leaned in to attack them.
Yeah, I was wondering when I saw that, like, is that... And I didn't get the shot, nor did I really care at that point, because you've got a big kind of dinosaur that's laying on its side that escapes the zoo. But I wonder whether they were saying, oh, he's driving the same make of car, and that's kind of like 30 years on, what they still keep in the mirrors, or do they not just give a shit and go, it doesn't matter, we're going to have that sticker on there because it's a nod. And it's probably the latter as opposed to the former.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter
100%.
either way. I liked it.
We like little nods like that.
Oh, yeah.
A very glaringly obvious one was the museum banner when
Yes.
dinosaurs
Yeah,
ruled
yeah,
the
yeah.
Earth. Same banner from the first film.
Which was interesting because obviously at the end of the first film it's falling. This one it's being raised,
Yes. Yeah.
which is direct opposites. Rebirth as opposed to
Yeah.
death.
Loomis was a student of Alan Grant.
Did you pick up on that yet?
Now, one of the more overt connections between Jurassic World Rebirth and the earlier movies is Loomis' direct connection with Alan Grant. Grant has been a recurring fixture of the series, appearing in 3 of the 7 films in the franchise. While he's not in Jurassic World Rebirth, Grant is confirmed to have been Loomis' mentor.
Indeed.
T-Rex vs. Raft was in the original book.
Okay.
I mean, it was many, many years ago. But yes, it is in the book. The temple was an ode to Indiana Jones.
Loved it.
There's also a reference to Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark tucked away in the middle of Jurassic World Rebirth. When Zora and the team track down the Quetzalcoatlus nest, they discover the creature's eggs are within the ruins of a temple. While other references and Easter eggs were cut from the film, Edwards told Vanity Fair he was convinced he would be able to keep the temple because the film's screenwriter David Cope loves Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Who doesn't?
And then finally, Duncan pulls a Dr. Ian Malcolm. We talked about the flare moment.
Yes.
In fact, the one that I didn't put in my notes was Kleb when he's underneath the, I think it's a crashed helicopter, and he gets the droplets on his hand,
Oh yeah.
which is a bit of a nod to Ian Malcolm's chaos theory from the first
Yes.
one, and it happened in Jurassic World, the first one,
Yeah.
where the blood drips on the guy's hand,
Yeah.
which usually means something imminent is about to happen,
Yeah. It's
or
a
something
good nod.
nasty.
Yeah. Foreshadowing.
So yes, that's a handful of Easter eggs there. Let's go to the listener. Right, we held some of these back from the On The Go episode.
And we did say that, so if you're expecting your comment in the on the go, we've kept it now for good reason, because we don't want to spoil things in a spoiler-free review. But I was surprised, but in a nice way, how many people actually got involved in this.
Yeah.
Our comment sections blew up, and damn, so there's another one coming, and I go, oh yeah, and then ding, like what? There's
Yeah.
another one.
We literally got one while we were walking to the cinema,
Which is fantastic.
amazing.
So we will thank everyone at the end, but I just want to say, just clearly this franchise resonates with a lot of people, and they enjoyed it enough to comment. And I really enjoyed the comments, so I think they're all valid and all relevant, so thank you again.
Let's kick it off with Kathleen. She says, the big designed dinosaur thing was weird. Looked like the alien from the movie Alien. They're suspenseful moments, but didn't seem cohesive to the Jurassic franchise. The ending was underwhelming.
It was.
Next, we've got Nicole. I think it would have been a better movie if they didn't make it part of the Jurassic Park franchise.
Yeah.
It didn't fit, in my opinion, and the enhanced dinosaur looks like some kind of crazy alien creature, which is just too much for me. I love the ones with Chris Pratt. I wouldn't watch this one again.
Would I watch this one again? I might do.
I think I probably would.
But it would go into the category of, you know, those times where you're not sure you want watching TV, but you don't want to commit to a new film because that's wasted if you end up turning off after 20 minutes. You know, those kind of evenings.
Yeah.
You go, no, and what's something that I've seen hundreds of times before. I think there's something to do with anxiety in that. I think I've read somewhere that you watch films you've seen loads of times because you're anxious.
Yeah,
because you don't have any surprises.
One of our regular listeners, Dan, wrote into us. I can't remember when, but it's something that is sort of a recurring theme when we talk about this in the podcast.
Yeah. Well, anyway, whether I'm subconsciously anxious or not. Anyway, sometimes it comes up and I go, actually, you know what? I'm going to watch a film that I know I'm going to enjoy, that I've seen hundreds of times. This might come into that camp of, I haven't seen this one in a while, I'll put this on. Because you know what to expect. Would I expect the same of Fallen Kingdom or Dominion? No. So I think that in itself tells me how I rank it and how I feel about it. But I must see it again. Was that Kathleen who said that?
Nicole.
Don't disagree, Nicole, but I might end up seeing it again. Maybe once.
My missus doesn't go to the cinema much anymore, or if ever. So I will have to rewatch it again with her. And to be honest, I probably will not change with my opinions towards this film.
We'll see.
But we'll keep you posted. Next up, we've got Lewis. Plot points seemed a little weak. Character motivations were lacking, and there were a lot of contrivances so that the plot could carry on. The end sequence fell flatter than 4 o'clock. I like that. I didn't find myself caring what happened to the characters. Actors did the best with the material, but the material wasn't the greatest. The opening scene promised a lot, but only delivered a small cameo at the end. It was a glorified MacGuffin hunt. Who honestly didn't sit down and figure out who the main villain was from the outset? More Dinosaurs is always good. However, this is a franchise that has been done to death. There's only so much you can do with the dinosaurs now. The plot portrayed dinosaurs as being unimportant and boring, and you could tell that the script was trying to get us to that point, as well as by attempting and failing to give us fleshed out, rounded characters. We don't care, we want dinosaurs. The characters were not even remotely interesting.
Some of that I agree with. I think it was trying to say that dinosaurs weren't interesting, but I think that might have been self-deprecating. I think it might have gone, okay, we know we've fallen flat here in recent times, and we know that the bits you come here for is the things that are on the posters, and we've hardly shown of it now. We're going to show you more. So I wonder whether it's a bit of self-awareness from the script writer and from the director, but that might be reading too much into it. We may now be going into the realms of a proper breakdown, a proper film review podcast, and obviously we're not that. But I don't know if I fully sign up to that aspect. Yeah, I mean, but the MacGuffin. So the MacGuffin, for those who don't know, it's a film device that doesn't really mean anything. Just makes people do stuff. It compels them to move the story forwards and goes in a direction so stuff can happen. The MacGuffin is the 3 samples to help save the world.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was a MacGuffin though. I think that was a legitimate motivation for the film. I mean, that's the reason why they get on the boat in the first place. That's the reason why at the end they stick 2 fingers up at the guy who's trying to kill them, and they open source it to the rest of humanity. If it is still a MacGuffin, I still think it's a good one. Personally, because what else do you do with this film? Why else would you find yourself there? It ain't sightseeing. It's not accidentally coming across it. It's not in search of a child who's gone missing from a previous boat trip. What else motivates you to get there? So actually I think they stuck with a relatively strong anchor point, but I concede what else is there to do, and that's a tough thing to pull off.
The other bit I didn't quite agree with there is caring what happened to the characters, because like I said, I cared for the family that threat of the island as they're trying to meander their way to safety. I was rooting for them the entire film, and I could feel my bum clenching in my seat. I think you said it as well. Whenever there was that element of danger, and I thought, fuck.
Because when they're it's in the first third of the film, and the family just got to the island and they've had traumatic events and they're sleeping behind that tree root.
Yeah, I'm
like, well, you don't fall asleep in the jungle for starters, and you certainly should have someone who's nearby and not wandering off, keeping an eye on you. I thought they were going to die, and I was like, oh no, and it wasn't. It was freaking merchandise wandering onto screen so you could buy their plushies. But again, I think that's where it forced us to care, but also again where it kind of gaslit us. Yeah. Oh well, they're falling asleep, Dan, so they're gonna fucking cark it next. So get ready, guys, because they're gonna end up. No, it didn't happen.
No,
but hey, at least it kept you on your toes to go. I know what's gonna happen. Oh, it doesn't. What does that mean? I'm confused now. Did I care about them as much as I would have done, perhaps compared to Jurassic Park 1, 3, or Jurassic World 1? Not as much and not as quickly, but I did care at the end. I think that's the key.
Yeah. Finally, we've got Phil, who I mentioned earlier, described as Marmite. It's summed up in the first 5 minutes. Visually amazing to look at, with a simpler plot that's easy to understand for the casual viewer.
Yeah.
For the more hardcore fan who wants a story that's got more substance and a bit braver, you might be disappointed. No locusts this time. There is slightly better character development with the main protagonists as we learn about their past.
Yeah.
While the film does go and try and visit the horror elements again, let's try to be a bit braver.
But my only question is, though, don't disagree, but they try to do braver and more complex, and they ended up getting Fallen Kingdom. They end up getting Dominion.
Yeah.
So I think we can all agree that was a step too far, but then what's between that?
You need that grey area, which we're not quite familiar with.
And that's going to be next, no doubt. But what is that? Because yes, you've got to be brave and you've got to be different, you've got to stand out. But you did that 2 films ago and they were both car crashes because they're about genetic engineering and human cloning, and then you're about locusts.
I've got some dogs barking out in the
it's all kind of wildlife.
In the garden.
You've got locusts, so that's too far, but I don't know where the middle ground is. And then does Jurassic Park need to flourish as a more complex film? Because all the other films are pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
You go there because this happened. You go there because you have to. You go there because you're going to go and find someone. You're going to go there because, I don't know. You go there because you pay tickets to, and then they end up breaking out the park as what it should have been in the first film. They are very simple plot points. Doesn't have to be complex. I think now it does. But I think it now does because we've rebooted and gone back to the bare basics.
Dominion did too much in the sense it took us to too many places, as well as the locusts and trying to cram in as many dinosaurs as we possibly could. That was another one of my bugaboos with that film.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you don't want it to be too complicated. It needs to be adventurous and brave, but brave enough that it doesn't take you away from...
Yeah, exactly. And that's a hard thing to do, right? And I'm sure there's been plenty of scripts that have never seen the light of day that are probably teach you on that. I think that is next, though. I mean, that's got to be.
Phil rounds it off with, Gareth Edwards got a great job directing with what he's got. As visually it looks stunning, the dinosaurs look better than ever. Just doesn't quite hit the mark. Better than the last two, 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
What would you rate, Alex? If you're going with Phil's rating, where are you marking yours?
6.5. It's on the lower end, but I agree.
I'm going for a 7.
Yeah, I wondered that. I wondered whether it was 7, but then there was too much for me to veer me away from the higher numbers. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's 50-50. I wouldn't say it's Marmite quite. There's still something in there for me to love and to enjoy. Love's a strong word, but there are aspects I do love. But it's not a hit. But I think it's in the right direction for that. I think, it's a 6.5, 100%. I agree.
That's it from our listeners, Alex.
I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah, this has been a really good episode, and thankfully a lot more positive than our Dominion reviews back in 2022.
Just left us scratching our heads, and Fallen Kingdom before that. We'll do another follow-up, I guess. We've got to do a pubcast, haven't we?
Yes, we're going to try and get Dale and Phil on and hopefully talk about some of your favourite Jurassic Park, Jurassic World moments.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really good one, and Phil and Dale are both big Jurassic Park fans. As you can tell from Phil's description or review of the film, that I think it'll be a really good episode for all of us to hopefully unload as well on some of our.
A lot of us have got emotional baggage.
Yeah.
We've been hurt. So I think it'll be a really good one. So we've got to schedule that one up, and perhaps we'll do a on the go, a Vault episode in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Where we will go back to that shot. Something rock. He's digging out.
Is it Battle of Big Rock or something?
Yeah, I think that's probably on the money. If you can't find it, don't worry. We'll bring it up to the front of your catalogue in a couple of weeks. But it was a really good short, and you can find it for free on YouTube. You don't have to buy it, download it, stream it. It's on YouTube, and that's the way it was intended. Yep. That's what Colin did. It was released straight there for free. So you have to wait to go watch it and then see what the review was in a couple of weeks.
We're a bit of an odd place, so we've recorded this before our on-the-go episode with the Fantastic Four. So you can listen to that one now.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And in our next episode, we'll be doing our big review of the Fantastic Four First Steps.
We will, yeah. So, spoiler-free before, spoilerific next.
Yeah.
That's what you should look at it.
So if you want to get involved on that episode, give us your spoilery thoughts on the Fantastic Four First Steps. You can get involved on our social media, which is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky and TikTok, all on the topic pod. And then we've got Gmail, which is on the topic podcast at gmail.com. And then Alex, we've got YouTube and WordPress.
Yeah, our WordPress is on topicpodcast.wordpress.com. Go give it a visit, subscribe to our newsletter. You can see our ugly mugs, our bios. And you can stream all of our back catalogue, actually, if you don't have a podcast player of preference. And we've got some bonus content on there as well, all the way from our choice of crisps to wrongs being righted by Dan, giving me lovely Wolvie who sits in the corner of the studio here, and Catch Me a Comet reunions as well. So there's plenty of bonus stuff on there. Alternative on YouTube, we've got our shorts on there. We've got lots of AI shorts. We've got our Ray-Ban Meta POV videos for the on-the-goes and our full-blown episodes. That is at OTT GITS or onto a podcast with Alex and Dan. Search for that on there. All those videos from OTT number 1 all the way up to today, and we've also got them all in their playlists. So if you're like, I love film reviews, there's playlists for that. If you like rabbit hole content, we've got that for that. We've got on the
plenty of that on there.
It's all curated, so go give it a look, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for when an episode drops. However, if all of that doesn't take your fancy, Spotify, you can comment on those episodes, so you can be part of the conversation as it happens for you. But also subscribe, show some love, also give us a rating if you like what you hear, or if you don't like what you hear, still let us know, but still give us a rating, because it's really important and it helps to spread the love and let people know.
Absolutely. Tell your friends, tell your family, give us a rating. Helps other people to find the podcast as well.
It does.
That'd be really helpful. But for another week, I'm crashing, I'm banging, and I'm attracting things that I probably shouldn't. I've been
I
Dan.
was going to say that. Well, I'm going to be landing on the beach, but not turning my back to a Spinosaurus who's basking on the rocks. I'm Alex.
And we'll see you next time.